This is the yellow PMD version of the Rusty spinner that I recently posted. It's identical in every way, except the coloration is PMD rather than Rusty. Out west, both spinners may be on the water and the fish can key on either one. This is yellow uni A-dot thread. Take it back to the bend and make a thread bump with about 5 sets of X-wraps. Take the thread back forward. I like ideally 4, anywhere from 4 to 6 works. 4 microfibbets. Tie them in up at the front and bind them down about halfway back. And then use the tag of the thread that was left long to split them and pull it down on your side. That'll lock the near fibers in place. Then hold the far fibers up so thread torque doesn't take them down, and you'll get a nice spread on your tail like so, which is important for flotation. The wider you can get that, the better. Take the thread back up, cut the butts, and then I like to take the thread all the way back to the eye and then count. And typically on a hook this size, I know that it's 8 or 9 turns will take me back to the 1/3. The 30% point on the hook. These are 2 CDC feathers held back to back so their tips splay out about hook length or longer. Spinners have long tails and long wings. Tie them in just as I've done here, and then cut the butts at an angle, or cut them as I'm doing here. I like this method because I don't inadvertently cut the tails off doing it this way, which I find if I angle the scissors down from the top, I seem to every now and again cut a tail off, which is annoying. You should have a tapered body at this point. We're going to tie in a biot at the tail, and I like to use left Canada Goose biots, but you can do whatever you like. The notch is going to go down if you tie in on the far side of the hook. That will create a smooth body, which is what we want for spinners. Canada Goose biots have a very striking black edge that I like a lot. And it was a great day when I think Charlie Craven was the one who told me about using Canada Goose biots. Nature's Spirit sells these. They're rather expensive, but in my opinion, well worth it. I just love that black segmentation, that black line around there that you can't get with, the normal biots you buy in fly shops. Those biots will still work. And every once in a while you can get a strip that's all right, but I like these so much better. Okay, pull the wings back and post them up. And don't just put wraps right in front of them. Go down towards the eye every now and again and then back up. Form kind of a taper. You don't want to create a big cliff right in front of the wings. Now spread them out as I'm doing here. try to get them about where you're going to want them. Hold the near wing in place and take 5 turns front to back diagonally up the wing. And then take a turn behind both wings. And then we're going to take turns up the far wing while we hold it. And you're holding it where you're ultimately going to want it to be. Take 5 turns back to front up it. And that will pretty well lock these wings into a nice position. Now at this point, I hold them back and take more turns in front and behind because I want these wings held in place by thread. I don't want to rely on the dubbing to hold them in place later. Get them situated just the way you want them. I like them to angle up just a little bit. It makes them easier to see on the water, and they're still effective. Here's the dubbing I use, but you can use anything. I've tied these with Superfine, and it works. It just doesn't float quite as well. And I've sped up this dubbing sequence. Dub as finely as you can and make a long noodle. It's harder to work with, but dubbing finely, you just get a better result. You don't have clumps of dubbing when you're done. And I like to start from the rear, but you can dub absolutely any way you want. You can dub this. Whatever method you have, just have a method. Here, I like to go almost down to the eye, but not quite, and then back up. And the advantage to that is you don't get a lot of dubbing behind the eye, which is something you don't want. It makes putting the fly on when you're out on the water difficult. Came up a little short on the dubbing. At the very end, I take a couple of X wraps each direction, or wraps each direction, I guess you'd say, diagonally. 3-turn whip finish and you're done. I've tied hundreds of these, if not thousands, I don't know, a lot. Both the yellow and the rusty. These are flat water flies. If I was fishing rougher water, I'd go with a different style of wing. I wouldn't necessarily use CDC. I'd do hackle, probably use hackle wings instead. I'll do a video with those at some point. There are lots of ways to tie spinners. This is a wonderful fly for flat water. And if you fish out west especially, you need this one. Have fun tying some of these up. It's a great fly.